the Magic Millions. Skirt the wall is taken over and kicked away. Skirt the wall in front and Skirt the wall's all too good. Skirt the wall's one by length and a half.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 281 and proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. This week we're going to preview our very small team of 4 runners at the Brisbane Racing Club meeting at Doomben on Saturday. Filling in for Tony this week is our racing manager Mitch Treleavan. Morning Mitch, great result for the stable last Saturday with a trifecta at Eagle Farm with Argyle Pink just pipping Amathuba and Fumiko.
Morning Claire, yeah, Argyle Pink was terrific first start.
She was.
Amathuba and it was very unlucky, another second, and Fumiko is knocking on the door as well, so I imagine those two have got a win soon, and Argyle Pink will probably win another couple this prep.
Hopefully so. Okay, before we jump into our preview, let's announce the winner of our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group, and the prize is a $200 voucher for the Crib Island Beach Club at the Ibis Brisbane Airport. Okay Mitch, who is the winner this week?
Justin Nixon.
Justin Nixon. Congratulations, Justin. Representative from the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group will be in touch to supply you with your prize voucher. Okay, on to the preview of our runners for Doomben on Saturday. The rail will be in the 1 metre position. The track's currently a heavy 10 after all the rain we've had this week. Thankfully, the forecast is better for the rest of the week, but I still do think that we'll be on a very damp track. What are your thoughts on that, Mitch, and the best case scenario?
I was going to say yesterday the best case is we race, but
True.
It's looking really good today, so hopefully today and tomorrow we get drying conditions. It's supposed to be like that way, so rail back into the 1 metre position. It'll be a fresh patch of grass. How fresh that is come the last is probably the question, but best case I'm hoping for probably an 8 if we can get there. Okie
dokie. We will start in race 5, which is the 3-year-old handicap over the 1600 metres. Transatlantic will run. He'll carry 56.5 kilos. Angela Jones will ride him. He's drawn barrier 3 with PlayUp. He's paying $1.65 to win and $1.16 for the place. He is third up and out to the mile on Saturday. He was super impressive with a 3.5 length win last start at Eagle Farm over the 1500 metres with Angela riding him for the first time.
Yeah, he was outstanding. He's a bit of a different horse this prep. First up, very unlucky.
Yes.
Got himself into a very ordinary position, and he showed that he can take up a forward position last start and put them away. It was quite a good race as well last start. The third horse had won a few in town consecutively, so I think all he really needs to do Saturday is hold that performance.
Yes.
I don't think the mile is going to be a problem. Really wet ground's probably a slight query as he hasn't done it yet, but he's certainly, I think his mum won an Oaks on a wet track, so the mile won't be an issue, and yeah, as I said, he just repeat last start, and he'll be very, very hard to beat.
Okay, we'll move on to race 8 now, which is the No Metro Wins handicap over 1110 metres. We have Typhoon Tavi in this. She'll carry 52 kilos with Angela Jones riding, drawn at barrier 9 with PlayUp. She's paying $8 to win and $2.80 for the place. She's second up on Saturday after a pretty disappointing first start run at Doomben over the 1200 metres. Tony did say though to be a little bit forgiving of that run, as she was flying in the jump outs before that, but again the soft ground may be a query.
Possibly. She won a maiden at Gollan on a really wet track, and she's performed not bad on wet ground after that. So I don't know whether the wet track's a real worry. First up, she had to do a fair bit of work, so I think down in weight, if she can get the early part of the race a little easier. Her best form's certainly enough for a race like this, but she's just got to perform that way now. As I said, she was really good at the trials and jump outs leading into that first up run, and her work's been terrific since. So just if she can find her best, she's certainly in a race like this. Okay,
we'll move right down to race 10 now, which is the benchmark 75 handicap over the 1350 metres. We have 2 runners in this. The first one we'll talk about is Brentwood, who's feeding his face there behind us. He'll carry 60.5 kilos with Jimmy Orman on board, barrier 1. He's paying $6 to win with PlayUp and $2.25 for the place. He did start his preparation in really fine form with a first, a third and a second before a totally out of character run last start when he did have some excuses. It was at this track and distance 2 starts ago he almost pulled off a win from the front.
Yeah, well, I keep going back to that run 2 back where he was just beat by Boomswalk. So that type of form is really good for a race like this. He's back in grade, back to the track he really enjoys. Probably a little query is really wet ground. He's handled soft ground before, but it just depends on what the track's like later in the day. But yeah, on his best track and trip form here, he's certainly in a race like this, and he's going to get a lovely run from the inside barrow.
He will. Okay, the second runner we have is Star of Chaos. She'll carry 59.5 kilos. Angela Jones on board. Star of Chaos is drawn barrier 4, and with PlayUp she's paying $9.50 to win and $3.10 for the place. Will be much improved from her first up run for 10th over the 1200 metres. She did win last prep second up at this track and distance after a similar first up run.
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to that second up run last prep. She had to do a fair bit of work in a pretty strong race last start. She's one that does handle wet ground quite well. She's going to get a really good run as well. I was tossing up out of these two. They're both good each way chances, so I think you can back them both each way, but she's just on top. I think if she can perform up to that second up run last prep, she'll be very hard to beat here.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's very short Final Gallop. Who is the best winning chance at Doomben on Saturday, Mitch?
Transatlantic.
Transatlantic, just straight out, no thoughts, just him?
Nah, he's found the right race to keep progressing, and hopefully we get to probably a Queensland Guineas hopefully with him.
Okay, your best each way chance?
I'll go Star of Chaos. I think you can back them both, and they're getting closer in prices, so yeah, back them both, but Star of Chaos best each way. Yeah.
Okay, and the best at the provincials over the next few days. We've got Bow Desert on Saturday and Ipswich on Easter Monday.
Yeah, the fields aren't out. I think the track will be quite wet at Bow Desert. Probably still be wet at Ipswich as well, but I'll go She Delivers on Monday.
Monday at Ipswich. Yes. Okay, and the best track worker this week?
I'll stick with Transatlantic as well.
Okay, and your performance from the stable for the week? Do we go with the trifecta, the stable trifecta?
I'd say we'll have to go there. Great Aspirations was also pretty good at Ipswich last Thursday, but the trifecta on Saturday was very good.
Okay, now courtesy of PlayUp, it is stable special offer for the week, and it is $3 for Star of Chaos, I should say, to run top 4. Last week they gave us $4.20 for Shamrock Lou to run top 4, and he came 4th, so the punters were very happy. Another good bet.
I think this one's quite good. Top 4. Back Star of Chaos each way, and if she runs 4th, you get something out of it.
Yes, exactly right. So load up. Okay, now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Just one out of his 2 legs last week with Fumiko placing. Let's hope he can land both of the legs this week for you.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Last week we done it again. We got 1 leg in. But anyway, this week we travel to Doomben. We'll go Transatlantic a win, into Star of Chaos a win. Good punting, guys.
Okay, so he's gone win-win with Transatlantic to win into Star of Chaos to win. It's usually place or win-place. Win-win doesn't usually come off for him very often. No. So what are your thoughts on that, considering you said Star of Chaos is an each-way chance?
Well, if Transatlantic wins, she's going to have an awful lot of weight on her back.
No one tell her.
But no, I think it's a good bet. I don't know what price it'll be, but it'll be good odds. So yeah, get on that as well. Okay.
Well, good luck to the stable on Saturday. A small team, but some very good chances.
Yeah, certainly. Just sort of hope this weather sticks around and we can get on a
drying track.
Yeah. And it'll be good racing on an Easter Saturday.
Okay. Best of luck to everyone over the whole weekend.